Who's the greatest?
I bet.
My name is Maurice Blocker, and the British Empire will fall tonight. Look out, Honeyghan. Meet you in the ring.
My name is Lloyd, and tonight I aim to keep my title by beating Maurice Blocker by points or by knockout. And don't blink.
No one's blinking in the Royal Albert Hall, which for the first time in 18 years tonight is the venue for World Championship Boxing. And an intriguing fight it promises to be, as Lloyd Honeyghan faces the American Maurice Blocker in the second defence of his world welterweight title. Good evening and welcome to this Barrett Duff promotion, sponsored by FU's Jeans, a 12-round contest for the world welterweight title, Lloyd Honeyghan against Maurice Blocker. And it's intriguing because comparatively little is known this side of the Atlantic about the challenger. We know he's 23 years old, he's unbeaten in 24 fights, he's 6'1", so he's going to have advantages in height and reach, but beyond that it's hard to say the kind of problems he's going to pose for the world champion. Lloyd Honeyghan we know all about, a tiger in the ring and an extrovert outside, but Alan Minter, he's been in a strange mood coming into this fight.
Yes, Steve, I think, basically, I think it's showmanship. I mean, I understand that he has a share in the promotion this evening, and he's doing it to get the backsides on the seats. I think it's just flashness. So.
He suggested that he wanted to retire if he didn't get Sugar Ray Leonard. That a stunt, is it?
Yes, I think so. I think the British public, when he says, I will retire unless I fight Leonard, the public are saying, well, who does he think he is? And therefore, they're going to come here, and hopefully some of them, or most of them, will see him get beaten.
Really, he's cultivated this flash image, so you think a few people might want to see him brought down a peg?
Yes, I think everyone I've spoken to tonight, and I've gone, what do you think? And they said, we'd love to see him get beat.
Really?
But this is the reputation he's brought on himself, you know.
Well, his record certainly suggests that he's not going to get beaten tonight. We can take a look at it now. 26 years old, although he's 27 next Wednesday. And there you see, coming in right on the limit at 10 stone 7 pounds, a record of 29 victories in 29 fights, the WBC and IBF champion of the world, although he's relinquished that WBA title. Now, Alan, the challenger Maurice Blocker, we know, as I say, comparatively little about him, but we do know that his preparations haven't been good for this.
Well, he's come over here to fight for the undisputed welterweight championship of the world. The thing is, he's come from America, and he's only been over in this country for a week. And it's not long enough, I don't think. Maybe he doesn't suffer from jet lag or something like that, but you need to prepare in this country for at least 3 weeks. But a week's not long enough.
Right, let's take a look at his record though, which fills in a few details on him. 23 years old, and there's that height and reach advantage, 6'1" and a reach of 74 3/4 inches. Blocker coming in just a quarter of a pound under the 10 stone 7 limit, and 24 out of 24, 13 inside the distance, and apparently 6 of those inside the first round, with 1 of those inside the first 6 seconds. Is that possibly going to be a key to Maurice Blocker's tactics tonight, to try possibly to land a few early bombs?
I think so. I think he's watched Honeyghan's other fights on video, and he's seen Honeyghan comes in and mauls you and then knocks you out. And I think he'll try the same thing. He's going to come out. Evidently he can punch. He's awkward. So I think he's going to take the fight to Honeyghan.
And he'll know, no doubt, that Honeyghan has been down early on a couple of times in his career.
That's right. And so he's going to come out. He's got everything to go for. His record stands for itself. So we don't know too much about the opponents he's fought, but by having 24 fights and 24 wins, it's a great record. So I think he's going to take the fight to Honeyghan and see what happens from there.
6'1" and that reach advantage. How significant is that going to be?
It's very tall. I mean, there's nothing. When you're boxing, it's lovely to punch down. It's very hard to punch up. And I think the only thing Honeyghan can do is to go for the body and just tire him. But I mean, Blocker's going to start moving. He's going to come out with long jabs, and I think that's going to be the key to the fight. He's going to try and completely outbox and outmaneuver Honeyghan.
In Bumpus, there was another height and reach advantage for Bumpus there in the last challenge, and Lloyd coped with that pretty well.
Yes, I think he was. So as far as I'm concerned, he wasn't a great contender. But this kid, you know, he seems that he's done it all, 24 fights. So, you know, he's ready. It's his big night, isn't it? He wants to be the champion of the world, so he's going to come and try it. We hope.
Prediction?
Well, my predictions are so terrible these days. I'm going to go for Honeyghan in 8 rounds.
Honeyghan in 8, so
Yeah.
the man's going to hang on a bit.
I think so. I think he'll hang on for the title, you know, especially this one.
Okay, so let's get out into the Albert Hall now. As I say, staging World Championship boxing for the first time since 1969. It's pretty well a sellout, tremendous atmosphere, and at ringside, Harry Carpenter.
Thank you, Steve. And you're right about the atmosphere. Sitting here ringside, you can feel the excitement now beginning to spread through this famous old arena, which has staged boxing, ever since the First World War. They had a huge services tournament here around about 1918. And just look at this for a setting for boxing. There's the famous huge organ of the Royal Albert Hall, this familiar setting for so many promenade concerts. But tonight, staging a world title fight. Well, I think we're all agreed, along with Alan Minter, that this is going to be a tough defense for Lloyd Honeyghan. This man Blocker, I assume, is no pushover. His record speaks for itself, and I think Honeyghan knows he's got a tough job on hand. The fanfares ring out. The first man to come to the ring will be the American challenger. Well, that was a confident enough entrance from the American camp behind the Stars and Stripes. And now, the champion of the world. Honeyghan has another sartorial surprise for us in glittering blue.
Would you please stand to honor the national anthems of both countries?
out that anthem. Honeyghan never took his eyes off Blocker. Ceremonial setting for Honeyghan's second defence of his world title. The WBC, the World Boxing Council, and the IBF, the International Boxing Federation titles. The belts for them, he brought to the ring with him. And now, our MC,
ladies and
Bernard
gentlemen, we now come to the main event of the evening. This is a contest of 12 rounds, 3 minutes each round, to decide the welterweight championship of the world, sponsored by FU's G's, presenting from Washington, D.C., the challenger, Maurice Blocker. From Bermondsey, London, the champion, Lloyd Honeyghan. My lords, ladies and gentlemen, this match was made at 10 stone 7 pounds, or 147 pounds, and at the weigh-in today at the Odeon, Leicester Square, Blocker scaled 10 stone 6 3/4 pounds, or 146 3/4 pounds. Honeyghan scaled 10 stone 7 pounds, or 147 pounds. Your officials appointed by the World Boxing Council are your referee, Mr. Franz Marti of Switzerland, your judges, Mr. Bob Logist of Belgium, Mr. Arsène Klopp of Luxembourg, Mr. Rolando Baravetio of Italy. The World Boxing Council representative is Monsieur Henri Piquet, President of the European Boxing Union, and your timekeeper is Mr. Tommy Rice of England. Thank you.
The formalities out of the way, and now the referee's instructions.
I said all, shake hands, good luck, huh?
Monsieur Marti from Switzerland. 12 rounds. Honeyghan's title at stake. And instantly, you see the difference in height. Honeyghan conceding some 6 inches in reach here. And that Blocker jab is going to cause Honeyghan some problems. Good left hook from Honeyghan. He found a way inside. So Honeyghan has stolen the initiative from the American. at the start. Good left downstairs from Blocker. Good counterpunch. And shows variety. Blocker only just turned aside from that right hand. Again, the left downstairs from Blocker. Good punch. This is no bumpers. Shoulder. It's a superb opening round. It's skillful, it's fast, it's aggressive, and both men have had their successes. Blocker is an accurate man. And Blocker gave a little nod to Honeyghan as they parted, as much as to say that was a good round. We're made for each other. This could be a very exceptional fight indeed. Honeyghan, as you've heard, will be 27 come Wednesday. This is his 30th fight tonight. All wins so far, 19 of them inside the distance, and he's clocked that lot up in 6 years as a professional. And in those 29 fights, he's won British, European, Commonwealth, WBA, WBC, and IBF welterweight titles. The complete bag. He doesn't now hold the WBA. He gave that up. So Honeyghan ready to come out early on for the second round. Blocker takes his full minute.
Seconds up. Well, shoot.
Blocker was once a southpaw. He boxed right fist and foot forward, converted. Honeyghan finds him. But to get at him, Honeyghan has to expose his head. Foresaw that Honeyghan might work to the body because it would be easier. In fact, he's working very much to the head and punching up, which is tiring. That long leading left hand of Blocker's is a major problem for Honeyghan. And this already can be seen as a very serious title challenge indeed by Blocker. Honeyghan's pouring everything into these opening rounds, and if it doesn't work, what happens then? Blocker claims never to have been put down. amateur or pro. Honeyghan's doing his damnedest to get him there. Honeyghan squandering energy, missing wildly. And it's quite obvious that Honeyghan can't afford to stand still a moment. Well, we've had 2 rounds, and I don't know about you, Alan Minter, but Mr. Blocker looks like a really good challenger to me.
Yeah, I've given Honeyghan the first 2 there, Harry. Yeah, he is a good fighter. I mean, he's got fast hands. For a tall man, he's throwing some fantastic body shots. But what Honeyghan's doing, he's drawing Blocker into a fight, which is suiting him. I think if Blocker was to go on the retreat and start going behind his jab and doubling, trebling up jabs and throwing hooks, he might have some success. But what he's doing at the moment, he's having a fight with Honeyghan.
Does it surprise you that Lloyd is concentrating so much to the head?
It does at the start, but I think that might be a ploy, Harry. He's going for the head, then all of a sudden he might shoot to the body and completely surprise.
Right. Honeyghan is some 4 inches shorter than Blocker. Honeyghan very nearly brought off a brilliant uppercut there. Honeyghan taking a few chances here. But he is a ruthless fighter these days. Seems to me his entire personality and fighting attitude has changed since that wonderful win over Don Curry, which certainly is one of the best things that any British boxer has ever done. It ranks almost alongside Turpin's defeat of Sugar Ray Robinson. Blocker now trying to keep this at long range. Pace has slowed a little after the furious onslaught of the first couple of rounds. As Alan said, if Blocker decides to go backwards and jab, he's even more difficult to deal with. Honeyghan has taken this round. Well, he had to do a lot of chasing in that round, but towards the end of the round, it was noticeable he was catching up with Blocker, who perhaps is just beginning to feel the pressure that's being put on him. Now, this Honeyghan is some fighter these days. One-time printer's apprentice. Way back in his amateur days, he was the London ABA champion. It seems like a century ago now. He was with the Fisher Club in South London. He signed professional with Terry Lawless in 1980, and then later switched camps to go with Mickey Duff. Thought he wasn't quite getting enough attention, that too much of it was going to Frank Bruno. So the pattern of the fight has certainly changed following the first 2 rounds. All close quarter stuff then. But now Blocker is using more defensive strategy. His whole boxing strategy is based on a good jab and firm defense. Honeyghan now sensibly beginning to pace himself for a possible 12 rounds. Signaling to Blocker to come forward. This is going to test their fitness to the utmost. Blocker taking over the initiative. Honeyghan switches momentarily to southpaw. And back again. Well, Alan, you said, I think you read Mr. Blocker rather well. You said if he started going backwards behind the jab, that it would be a different fight. And that's what's happened, isn't it?
Yeah, the pace of the fight has slowed down rapidly the last 2 rounds. But Blocker, yeah, did start boxing and jabbing behind a nice long jab and getting some good results. But to the end of that particular round, he still went in and had a fight with Honeyghan. It's still a brawl. But I think, you know, if it's going to last, he doesn't want to be brought into brawls. He wants to start dancing around behind the long jab. And that's the only chance he's got. Once he's brought into a fight with Honeyghan, he'll get banged over, I'm sure. He's got to box at a long range. He's just got to keep it at long range.
I had a feeling at one moment in that round when Lloyd was up against the ropes here above me that he was looking slightly frustrated.
Yes, and that's right. And Blocker caught him with a lovely body shot. Then they went into a war. They're boxing very well.
Yes, it's a good championship, well worthy of the World Championship title. And Honeyghan's got all the support he could want here in this wonderful old arena, the Royal Albert Hall. a good right. He caught him from way off, too. Some fight. Honeyghan again, pouring energy into it. Lloyd knew it wasn't going to be an easy fight. He told me last week this was going to be a tough one. He was ready for it, he said. Blocker actually hasn't had nearly enough time in London. I think you said he'd had a week. He hasn't even had a week, Alan, because he didn't arrive till last Monday, so he's really only had 4 full days in which to get himself ready in London. And that really, as you said, isn't long enough. Honeyghan now. Well, he's gone back again. Now he's switching all the time from orthodox to southpaw. Good punch, left and right. Probably the best thing he's done yet. And he's beginning to find the target. And Blocker's beginning to realize he's got a good champion in front of him. That's a stumble. Almost does a backward somersault. Mickey Duff over in that far corner is pleading with the referee. He's complaining about Blocker's holding, and Monsieur Marty turns away and ignores the protest. Well, that was a couple of punches put together here by Honeyghan, a left and a right, about 30 seconds before the end of the round. This was a couple of the best things he'd done. Look at that. Absolutely knocked the man sideways. But that corner, particularly manager Duff, getting very, very aggrieved about Blocker's tactics. Mickey Duff giving Honeyghan as much punishment as he's getting from Blocker. So those first 5 rounds have gone by very quickly, and here we are rapidly approaching the halfway stage. I've got Honeyghan in front, and comfortably in front at that. Take the initiative from the start. But I think everybody in this arena senses that all the drama is to come, and that Blocker is still a highly dangerous challenge. Good right from Blocker. Honeyghan doesn't want to take too many of those. Low. Mickey Duff can't complain about that ticking off. Well, as we've seen in so many of Honeyghan's fights, he has seemingly limitless stamina. I think he's going to possibly need it all here. Blocker very content indeed to keep this at long range. The thin man, 6'1", trying to make it a tactical battle. Not being drawn in now to too many punching exchanges, relying on the reach and the jab. And Honeyghan again looks just a touch frustrated. Good right again for Blocker. More even round. A couple of innovations in British boxing here tonight. If you look into Blocker's corner there, you'll see it in the background. A man in civvies, keeping a close watch on things. That's a Board of Control inspector, former fighter called Ron Pudney. And he's appointed by the board here tonight to watch over the corner, see that nothing illegal takes place, no wrong medicants, no inhalants that aren't allowed. And this is an idea that's been taken from the Americans. And you'll notice we have a 10-second warning buzzer tonight, and that's been installed because of the rumpus after the Bumpers affair, when Honeyghan attacked at the bell at the start of the second round, and Bumpers' manager complained they didn't know the bell was coming up. Well, I don't know where the buzzer was that time, I didn't hear it. But nonetheless, a man called out 10 seconds at the 10-second mark before the off. Constant switching from southpaw to orthodox and back again is a sign, I think, of Lloyd's frustration here. He doesn't quite know how to really get a telling punch home. He's hit him with his best shots. And the man who says he's never been down, he's still on his feet. Blocker takes a deep, deep breath. That spoke for itself. Very interesting watching this fight, because what you would call the American style is being shown by Honeyghan, and what you would very much call a British style is being shown by Blocker. Honeyghan just keeping the upper hand, just. Blocker not doing enough to steal the rounds. has done some work. He really has done some work. Now then, Alan, you said 8 rounds, and the 8th is coming up. You're sticking to that?
Yes, I will stick to that, Harry. He looks very tired now, Blocker. The punches he's throwing, the jabs, the crosses, there's no power there. And Honeyghan's got the power up to now. So it looks to me that my bet's okay.
He really must be a durable man, Blocker, because Lloyd's hit him with his best shots, and he hasn't really even quivered, has he?
No, he's not quivered through punches or anything like that, Harry. I just think he's tired. As you said earlier, he's only been out in this country for 4 days, and it's no time to prepare for a world title fight. And it's showing now. The first few rounds, early rounds, he was looking great, but now he's tiring rapidly.
10 seconds.
Mickey Duff had another protest to the referee.
Second round. Round 8.
And that was a touch of the bumpers there from Honeyghan, straight at him. Lloyd's getting a little bit flashy. Blocker, born and raised in Washington, D.C. Graduated from high school in 1981. There's a common name on the records of these two, the name of Danny Paul of America. Back in '83, in his second year as a pro, Blocker outpointed Paul. And Paul is, in fact, the last man to take Honeyghan the distance. First time Blockers looked really wild. His arms are coming down. The classic and first sign of tiredness. Blocker's arms coming lower and lower. Low punch. Second time he's had a warning about that. Might be a sign he can't lift the arms up too much. Blocker, only 23, but beginning to look a lot older. And Honeyghan, facing passive, keeps coming forward, ripping the punches in. And Blocker can do nothing about it. There's a low one from Honeyghan there, but he got away with it. So the chase goes on, and the man survives. And you can see just how tired he looks now. There's a depression settling over that camp. Blocker can barely find the breath to tell his handlers what the trouble is. He does, in fact, look desperately tired. So, we have 4 rounds left if it goes the full distance. I wonder if it will. Never been stopped, Blocker. too much moisture on Blocker's face. Actually, Honeyghan's body is smothered in water anyway. Tired as he is, I still just have a feeling that the man might be dangerous. Low punch. Third time. Mr. Marty signals to the Honeyghan corner to keep quiet. He knows the punches. Another one. Another one. I've seen Honeyghan in some storming finishes, and he might just produce something like it here. Still pursues. Gets caught, but ignores it. Comes in head down. And it may be that the pair of them are pretty tired now. Good finish again to the round by Honeyghan. He finishes round so well. Which is a sure sign of superior stamina. Inside of the glove from Honeyghan. For luck from Honeyghan as the bell sounds to end the ninth. So there can't be any people left, surely, now, who think that Honeyghan was a bit lucky to win the world title. I've heard it said that Curry had terrible trouble making the weight. Well, maybe he did have, but you still have to beat him. And Honeyghan beat Curry in style and destroyed Johnny Bumpus. And now against a man of good quality, with a lot of ability, he's showing World Championship status. Alan, anything to say?
Well, it surprises me how the challenger has stayed so long, Harry. I mean, I think he's took some great punches, but he's so durable, and you can see why he's never not been stopped. He's fast, he's quick, and he's still, believe it or not, the man's still alert. And as you said before, looks dangerous at times.
Round 10. Fight being transmitted live to the United States. So again, Honeyghan's fame being spread across that continent. He says he wants to fight Sugar Ray Leonard or Dwayne Thomas. And I know Alan thinks it was all a gimmick, but he seemed pretty serious when he talked to me about it, even when it was off the record.
Don't push. This is so good.
wonder if Honeyghan now realizes he can't put the man away. And he's going to settle for a points win, which surely must come his way if it goes the distance, because he's done all the attacking. He's stolen most of the rounds from Blocker, who simply hasn't put together enough good work. But nonetheless, he's been a good challenger, and he's still there. And Honeyghan still very alert indeed. He picked the lead off on his right glove and was quick to counter with the left. Still very alert. Little bump coming up at the side of Honeyghan's eye, right eye. Ducking. Good body punches from Honeyghan. And yet, you see, this durable, thin man still comes fighting back. Yet another caution about the low punching. We have 2 rounds to go. Honeyghan's on a big pay night tonight. I'm told he's been guaranteed £100,000, but on top of that, he's got a percentage of the gate, and that's the thing they call an end swell, which is a piece of flat iron applied to a bump. Now, magic camera overhead, giving you the bird's eye view of some of the action. That's the bump I was telling you about at the side of Honeyghan's right eye, trying to flatten it out with that implement.
Seconds up, round 11.
Now, will Honeyghan put in a big finish? How much has Blocker got left? Enough to land that good looping left. Little recovery here by the American. Maurice Blocker trying to avoid his first defeat as a professional. And Honeyghan's strength apparent there, as he pushed the man away from him with bodily strength. Hard defense. He always knew it would be. And there's some life left in Blocker yet. And this crowd willing Honeyghan to get it over inside the distance. He might yet. And Honeyghan's is sore and bleeding. What a remarkable challenger this is. He looked as though he was on his way out, around about 7 and 8. And here we are in 11. And he's still causing problems. Honeyghan's mouth looks very sore to me. Well, you can see in the background how this crowd, this big crowd in the Albert Hall are enjoying this. Well, Alan, I assume that, like me, you've got Honeyghan pretty well ahead.
Yeah, I've got Honeyghan. He's won everything, Harry. That was an interesting round, wasn't it? I was going to say that Honeyghan looks desperately tired at the moment. Then all of a sudden he's thrown a fantastic right hand, which has caught the challenger on his chin. And here we see it now. And the thing is, the challenger literally ducked underneath the punches and fought back.
He always comes back with something, doesn't he?
It's unbelievable. I mean, there's a man there that looks absolutely tired on his feet, but he still wants to win the championship. Amazing.
Hungry fighter.
Very hungry, Harry.
And so, the final 3 minutes of this World Welterweight Championship defence by Lloyd Honeyghan of Britain against the thin man, Maurice Blocker from Washington, D.C. Fascinating fight. And whatever points Honeyghan has amassed here, he's had to work for. And very hard indeed. And Honeyghan is the one, Alan's right, Honeyghan's the one who looks so tired now. And that's giving Blocker new life. Yet again, a warning. A warning for a low punch, again, against Blocker. Honeyghan trying to get up on his toes, but he's so tired. And Blocker has come to attack, and now Blocker signals to Honeyghan to come forward. Complete reversal of roles. And Honeyghan is having to do a bit of showboating here to keep out of trouble. The referee is getting mixed up in it. And Honeyghan is finding it difficult to get safely to the end. And Blocker is finding the punches from somewhere. The sudden, brief moment of hope for Blocker after all seemed lost. We have 30 seconds on the clock. And a tremendous title defence comes to an end in a most astonishing way. Two men can barely stand, and yet raining the punches on each other as we come to the final bell. This whole place seething with excitement as the final bell comes and Blocker drapes himself over the ropes. He can hardly stand. And Honeyghan has put it all in as well. He always said it was going to be a tough defence, and my word, it was.
We have a unanimous decision. The winner and and still welterweight champion of the world.
Well, there really wasn't any doubt about it,
Honeyghan.
but it's always a relief to hear it. And Honeyghan is cheered around the ring. He's been champion now for 203 days, and I suspect there are a lot more left yet. Lloyd Honeyghan makes 30 wins in a row.
In a few months' time.
Right, there is the champion, still the welterweight champion of the world. He's with Harry now.
Up with some defence. You said to me it was going to be tough, and you were right.
Yeah, well, you know, Harry, I know a good fighter when I see one, you know, and I'm just thankful that I managed to get on with the training that I had done in France. I'm back here, and I'm really pleased that I won the fight. And, you know, things didn't go as I wanted it to go, but that's boxing, Harry. You can't knock them out all the time. I went the distance and I had a good, hard fight here. Maurice Blocker is a very good fighter. I said in the beginning that it was going to be a tough fight, and I had the feeling that it was going to go the distance from the beginning. That's why I was really wanting to get some hard training in. But you can't knock them out all the time, and I'm just glad I won the fight.
The first 2 rounds were tremendous, weren't they? Because they went off, both of you went off at such a pace, and then it changed because he began to keep away from you, keep it at long range.
Well, I hurt him a bit, and he just had to start and try and outbox me. I have to really work hard for the decision, and I'm just glad that I win, and I'm just going to